Hello and welcome to the beginning of a new tutorial on the III networking channel. Again, this is Sajid Ghafoor again with you, and today's tutorial is number 5, and that would be the PRTG, monitoring your network using PRTG. And what we will monitor today will be a network or some devices from Cisco regardless, but we will use Cisco today, that are built on the EVNG environment. So we will not monitor real devices, but the methodology will be identical to monitoring real devices. The only thing that we will do is that in real life you will install PRTG, the network monitoring system, the NMS of PRTG, on let's say a Microsoft Windows server. Today it's a Microsoft Windows 10, same thing. And that Microsoft Windows server itself, or a VM, will be considered the PRTG server or the SNMP server from the perspective of your devices. And the same thing will be done today, only the nodes will be in the EVNG environment, compared to the real life, nodes will be in real gear, and that's it. So same methodology, same procedure. In the end, the PRTG will be able to discover your devices. We will see the initial config that we will need on our devices in order to do so, and let's see if we will be able to catch, discover, and monitor our networks from the graphic user interface or the user interface of PRTG or not. Okay, so this will be the 5th tutorial that is being recorded and published in June, and I believe this will be the last tutorial to be published in June, and the rest should wait to be published in July of 2021. This one is the English, and the Arabic is recorded as well, and the progress is full by now because we are already recording. So the next one will be the introduction to the NRC 30410 after this video. So stay tuned to this channel, and whenever you see a tutorial name, then you will find these videos in the tutorial playlist of the channel, and the others will have their other playlists, like a playlist for NRC, playlist for MPLS, playlist for DevNet, CyberOps, and the others as well. These are different, and you will see at that time. Playlist for ENSLD. Okay, so starting with today, what I will do will be just talking about PRTG. Let me do something like going to the web browser, and in the web browser what I will type will be PRTG, and we can go to the image section, and I will show you what my browser show right now is that this is how PRTG looks like classically. So many different images, like one of the classics might be this one that show you all of these sensors that are monitoring your network. This video is mainly meant to the guys who knows what PRTG is already. For those who do not know what PRTG is, sticking with this video, just seeing the simple methodology of installation, preparation, and then integration, the PRTG, integrating PRTG with the devices, will in the end tell you that, oh, this is the benefit, then I got it. Like, it's as simple as that. It's not tricky, not something really that much. And even right now, when you install PRTG, you will find the tutorials and the guidance of PRTG itself automatically, because it's connected through the internet, or it's already have that pre-installed. It's clear. It's something very simple. So we will see how useful is that. But mainly, it's used for monitoring our network, just to monitor all the devices, create sensors in your devices, etc. So the first step will be, this will be my slide for today, and I will also need to go to the web browser, and I will type PRTG download in google.com. So in order to download the PRTG, we will see this. I just typed in google.com. Let me go back. I tapped PRTG download, and the first link was from the pyseller.com. PRTG download, the company that created PRTG. I will click, and after I click, I will start with this procedure. So let me make it a full screen, and let me start right now showing the slides, because this procedure is limited and PRTG cannot be downloaded every day. This is something important and crucial that you need to understand. Let me go to the slides that I've shown you, and right now we will start talking about the steps to download PRTG. So the first thing that I have done at that time was going to the PRTG website, and in the PRTG website there was the link to download, so you can go back to the web browser. This is how things looked like. So when I click on free download, unlimited version of PRTG is 30 days only. After the 30 days, PRTG refers to the free version, or you can upgrade to paid license time. What does that mean? The unlimited version means that you can download, you can install, you can monitor, discover the unlimited amount of devices and sensors that you want. But when the 30 days of trial are done, you will go back to the free version of PRTG, where you can only add few devices, a limited number of devices. You might need to read that in the datasheet of them. Plus, for every single device, or actually in total, you can only install a limited amount of sensors. What do I mean by a sensor? We will see that in minutes today. It will not take a long time before we discover that, but the idea will be simply, if I added a router to PRTG, then I can add a sensor to ping that router to check ICMP reachability, a sensor to check the moisture content around the router based on the sensor. So if the moisture was high, the router will get annoyed. A sensor for temperature, internal temperature of the device, of the router. If it exceeded, let's say, 40 Celsius degree, then that would be maybe a disaster, depends on that device burners. And then I can add and monitor some VLAN traffics, physical interfaces traffics, etc., and we will see that, and we will do it actually today. So these are sensors per one device. So as an aggregation or cumulatively, perhaps it will only allow us for only 100 sensors. So in the end, if I have 10 devices with 10 sensors, then I am full. This is the free version of PRTG. What I will do right now is that we will click free download on the unlimited version, because we have a 30-day trial for that, and we will see that. Okay, now the idea is, before you are allowed even to download the free one, is that you will need to register using your company professional email, or the business email, actually, not a professional email. It's the business email. You are not allowed to use Gmail, of course, not Yahoo. Please leave Yahoo in 2021. Not Gmail, not other personal emails that cannot be related to a domain and cannot be related to a company domain. This is important. No business, no company domain. So you will need to use your work email if you have. If you do not, I'm afraid that you'll not be able to download that. After that, you'll use your name, the company name, and this will be checked with these. And of course, the country, the phone number, because they will need to contact you. Maybe they will ask, let's say, for your experience, for the feedback regarding the experience that you had with PRTG. Once you fill these, you will click on download now, and you will be redirected for thanks for downloading PRTG. It will start in seconds, and it will automatically start. So step number one, download the started automatically. Download will start automatically, and it will start. You will get it, and you'll get your license key. That will not look like this. Actually, I've only cleaned a little bit of it. It looks much longer than that, like much more fields are there filling all of this gray field. What you will need to do, you will need to copy it and save it. This is important, and it will be mailed to you as well. Once your download is done, you will need to use this license key in order to install. Okay, once it's done, your email address has been confirmed. You will receive an email address. This is important. And once you receive your email address, of course, you will see the key is already there. Again, not awesome, so it's on the screen plus with the email. And then you will go to downloads. Once your download is finished, double click start installing PRTG like any classic software to be installed. I accept the agreement. Your email address, if it did not ask for the key, it will ask for the email address. If that email address is activated, then the key will already be integrated with this installation, and once you type your email address and click next, you will be directed automatically to installation mode. You will use Express. I use Express because it's the recommended. I did that. And then unpackaging the files, starting PRTG probe services, continue to install, and that's it. This will automatically pop up as a HTTP service because this will be through your web browser. It's installing and completing initialization of PRTG. Once the initialization is done, you will see this login welcoming screen. You will use the username and password. They are default, which they are PRTG admin for username and PRTG password for PRTG admin as a username and a PRTG admin again as a password. And this is what we will need to do. Once you are done and you are redirected to that, you will click on log in, and that's it. This is actually everything just to have it. So the only thing that might stop your procedure will be the business email, and that's it. Once you have it, you got it, download, double click, install, you are done. You will be redirected here. You click on login and you see that you are logged in officially to PRTG. And this is how PRTG looks like. So what I want to do right now, you will see actually, because this is not my first time login, I did that to test before I started today. So some couple of annoying messages, or actually some pop-up messages, will show up on the right side telling you welcome, etc. Let us help you, let us do whatever you want, and we will guide you on how to change your username, change your password, change your domain, to change so many other stuff. You can see that default IP address was the loopback of Microsoft, so that would be 127.0.0.1, and this is just the welcoming screen. What I care about is to monitor my devices, so I will go to devices, and from here these are what to be called sensors. This is called auto discovery enabled. This is the auto discovery. So it discovered all the possible clients that are connected to my computer and to the devices that are connected to my computer, including the DNS, the gateway, the DHCP that is 192.168.0.1, which is my home router. And you can see even a map is supported to show my location. And it's pingable. My 192.168.0.1 is pingable. It's available. Whenever you see a green thing, then you should feel a relief. Whenever you see a non-green thing, it's an annoying. All of them are annoying. The gray, blue, orange, yellow, and the red, especially the red, is the disaster thing. Okay, so everything green is nice. Okay, now let's start monitoring devices. Let's add some devices to monitor. Well, what I will do right now is that I will have some nodes on EVE-NG, and I will integrate EVE-NG with PRTG using a very difficult, extremely difficult, let's say, method. And that extremely difficult method, right now we will say, Sajjad, don't use such a annoying joke again, because it's extremely simple actually. I have only bridged the EVE-NG with my computer, adding a management cloud, and that's it. Because PRTG is already installed on my computer, and I have integrated one single node of the PRTG nodes. All of them are connected back to multi-layer switch 1, and this multi-layer switch 1 is connected via gigabit Ethernet 00 to the management cloud that I change its icon. So you might think that, what is that? A network, a management cloud, the type is management cloud, and you can use whatever icon you want. It will look like that, this one, and only bridge it to a network from the to a device from the network, and we are done. So this will automatically make you able, 1 minute, let me clean the screen. This will make you able to bridge everything, the entire topology, with your computer. In that way, your computer will really behave like it's the server of PRTG from the perspective of this network. Okay, so let's start integrating the very first device, and let's see how many devices we can add, etc. I will click on this multi-layer switch number 1 that has 0 config. Let's configure that. It's only a multi-layer switch, and what I will do will be like enable configure terminal, and let me say interface, or let me just change the name first, multi-layer switch 1. And what I will do will be, right now it's a switch, it's a multi-layer switch. I can make it behave like a router, but I don't want to do that, so I will keep it as a switch, as a layer 2. You can play whatever you want, but let's just finish the initial config required for PRTG to discover our device, and things will be lovely after that. And after that, you can change whatever you want. You can do it. You can download that. You have 30 days to play. After the 30 days, things will be only a free limited. It will not be deleted or blocked, so you will still have a plenty of time to keep changing stuff. So I will not change any layer 3 things here. So what I want to do is that I will do a classic yet smart management methodology used for layer 2 and layer 3 switches, and this will be managing through a VLAN. So I will create a management VLAN. In that case, I will make it the default VLAN of VLAN number 1. So I will type interface VLAN 1. This is what I want to do, and I will type IP address. Let me give it an address from the domain of my computer so that it will be able to see it. Let me type it again, IP address, and that would be 0 dot whatever you want. Let me start from the bottom up, so let's make it 250. 0/24. No shutdown is important here. Let me give it an end and let me test reachability to my computer, or let's say to the gateway better. So 01, is it reachable yet or not? Let me see if I can reach that, and that is what I want. So it can reach it, that would be nice. Let me test another machine. Is it reachable or not? It will not really affect our business, but let me only test it. And no problem. I will leave it for today. I don't need that. Now what I need will be, let me just verify, interface brief. And I can see VLAN 1 is up. It has an IP address from the same domain, and it was able to reach the gateway, which is the home router. The step number 2 will be SNMP. Now SNMP config can be extremely simple and can be simple, but not difficult actually, because I will do something like configure terminal, and I will type SNMP server community. This is what I need right now. I will need to create a community, so I will call it this will be a group name and or a domain names that all the devices must participate in it. And when I configure that, it's extremely important to match it on the other end as well. So when I add the device, this multi-layer switch 1, when I add it to the PRTG user interface, I need to change the community name there to match the community name that I will do right now, and that will be the III PRTG, and that's it. So a question mark before I hit enter. Right now, please just be careful. We can do two things. One of them and both of them are optional. Number one, I can hit carriage return immediately. I can just hit and enter in my keyboard, and that's it. So the prerequisites, the requirements of PRTG to be enabled or to integrate with the device is only to enable the SNMP, and that's it. So one single command is the only thing that I need, plus the reachability that we have just tested, and we are lovely. This is number one. Number two, look at that. I can add a standard IP access list to this command by mentioning the number. What does that mean? Well, this is very important and a very let's say cannot be neglected worldwide right now nowadays, because you don't want anyone to be allowed to monitor your devices. You don't want whomever comes to the network and sends some SNMP, let's say, requests from the server to the agent and telling the agents, please update me with your latest info. Who you are and who allowed you to ask me such questions? Well, I'm SNMP server. Well, you need to be authenticated. So the methodology of authentication here using this version, by the way, I'm using the SNMP version 2C. There is version 1 that is obsolete, and there is version 3 that supports authentication and encryption. Version 2C is the default for most of the devices, and I will use it today. We can maybe have a second video later, but when we enable version 3, we will add an extra commands and config to both the PRTG and the network devices as well. Again, so just as a classic config, this can be enough. If I added the name of the access list, then what I will do will be, I'm injecting an access list that inside it, if I created that access list, I will permit only the IP address ranges of the PRTG, of the authenticated PRTG servers. Like maybe you would like to make your PRTG servers carrying the IP address of 10.10.10. something. Maybe you have multiple PRTG servers. Each one of them is monitoring a different community. In the end, all of them are from the 10.10.10 prefix. So you can like create an access list 1, permit 10.10.10.0/24 and mention this here. So only a PRTG that is carrying, or an SNMP server that is carrying an IP address from the 10 something is permitted and allowed to ask the server for updates. Otherwise, everything will be permitted if I right now just click and enter, and I am done. And that's it. Okay, so just let me take this space away and click and enter again. So end, and let me verify my config, show run. Let me see where was the SNMP command is, because I'm afraid that we have just might added an extra space. Well, only one single command is there, and it's PRTG, and it's a read only. No problem, it's a read only. I did not specify the profile type. I can specify if it was a read only or a read write, but this video is not a video of SNMP like professional video. This is a PRTG video, and that's it. So for me, I am done. let me just go now. I'm really done. Let's see if I would need a default route or not. I will go back to PRTG, and in PRTG what I will do, I will right click. Let me just show you this here, this blue, this blue plus sign. I will stand on it and I will go to add a device. Click on add device, and it will say where would you like to add the device. Well, let's just add it to the root directory here, if that is allowed, please. And what I will need right now, specify the name of the device. Let me match it with the host name, so that will be multi-layer switch 1, and I would like to delete this device thing. And the IP address of it was, I did give it, right? Yes, I did, 192.168.0.250. This is what I want. I can make the icon as whatever I want. I will leave it to the default icon. I will enable auto discovery so that it would discover the sensors, the available sensors of the device. But if it did not discover anything, I can add it later. And one last step before I hit an enter would be to click on credentials for SNMP devices, and I will disable this automatic credentials because it is a version 2C, but the community is not a public word. It was actually a III PRTG, so that would be nice. Now if I click on OK, the device is added. So this one is the auto discovery is in progress. This is the device. I'm waiting a little bit. Let me zoom in. That would be a good zoom. And this is my multi-layer switch 1. I'm still waiting for that. This might take 1 or 2 minutes only. Meanwhile, we can always refresh, like going up. We can find this scan now again to refresh everything. And once I scanned it, we can see that it automatically added all of these sensors. Now I want to be more specific, and I want to click on multi-layer switch 1. And by clicking on multi-layer switch 1, I can see the ping sensor is added successfully. This one is working. It's green and it's 1 millisecond of time. So PRTG right now is pinging the 192.168.0.250, and that is successful. And I can see also some sensors are in gray, meaning that they are still discovering that. This is important. And also the uptime sensor has been added. This is referring to the uptime of the device. It was up for the last 54 minutes and 2 seconds. If I refreshed, this should be increasing. Go down and you can see if it's still showing, then it did not refresh. Maybe, just maybe, right click on that and another scan, and things will be 42 instead of 2. So all of them right now are green. That would be perfect. It's monitoring. These interfaces have been added by default. Just in case they were not added, then I can just click on add a sensor. I'm sorry. And I can specify which type of sensors I can add. I can specify it from here, would be much better than navigating below, because if I navigated below right now, I will seek 280 plus sensors, so that would be a lot to find my preferred. So I want to seek a sensor that is specialist or related to bandwidth and traffic. Going down, we'll find only 2 of them are used, like an SNMP traffic sensor. And after that, it will scan and it will tell me that all of these interfaces are available on this switch. Which one would you like? Because these are up and running right now. They have the bold font or the bold text, and these other are not. How about I even add these? Why not? I want to add them as well. So click on create, and you can find below they are now created. A couple of scans will be good to monitor them. Okay, so let me do another stuff like checking the status is okay, the device IP, everything. The default interval of refreshing will be every 60 seconds unless I want to make it by force right now. The number of sensors, 6 already, 5 are still off 11, and everything is nice. So this is how you can monitor. And of course, when you add a sensor, you can see how many sensors you can add, like a memory usage. And below I can click on an SNMP Cisco system health, click on it, And let's see, could not create that on the device, could not, Cisco Health Matrix. The reason might be that the device does not provide data. Okay, it's a virtual switch that might not be provided or supported, no problem. Of course, hardware stuff would not be like, let's say, supported. As CPU usage supported? Let me try my luck. And Amazon things, no. Amazon SNMP Cisco USCS chassis, SNMP Cisco system health is nice if I wanted, but on real devices it's supported, not here. Okay, going back, taking this out, all of them are not right now nice. Let me look at my topology again. Let me look here a little bit more. And by the way, we don't need a default route because it's a layer 2 topology. If it was a layer 3, then we would need that. And let me also check another different thing, and that would be multi-layer switch 1 is connected through gigabit Ethernet 00. So if I went back to gigabit Ethernet 00, how much traffic is passing right now? Not that much. Click on live traffic, and if I clicked on plus, then this will reduce the shown period. Like, it's showing the last couple of hours from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. I want to show that more specifically, like the last few minutes from 4:37 p.m. to 5 p.m. around the last 25 minutes. Very good. So the maximum traffic was a total of 5 kilobits. How about I go to the switch and do some noise, like ping the gateway through gigabit Ethernet 01 so many times, 10,000 times. It might sound a lot, but it will be finished like in a minute. Meanwhile, let me wait for this to refresh like in the upcoming minute. When it refresh, I expect more traffic to be shown. When the ping is done, then the traffic will be reduced and backed down again. So let me finish that. Almost done. And we are done with 10,000 pings. Okay, so I am still waiting. I can like right click, not here, I'm sorry. I can just go upstairs, scan right now, please. Scan again, still not showing anything. It was done on 5 p.m. That is correct, but I'm still waiting for a refresh. By the way, this is the legend. If you see a downtime, meaning that this one, which is 0 right now, means no downtime. The blue graph, which is this one, the dark navy blue, refers to the total, the download plus the upload, the traffic in plus the traffic out in kilobits. You can change it to make it in megabits or gigabit. Everything is changeable here. Everything you can do. This is the history in minutes, and you can see that later. It can be in days, weeks, or months. It depends on your license, depends on your network and setup. Let me just refresh again. I still want to see different things. Nothing, no indication. Then I will refresh my web page, and now we can see that it reached 300 kilobits. Let me add a couple of pluses, and now finally it did monitor what happened on hour 5 and minute 2. It reached out that much, and then it decreased when the ping was done, and it went back to normal. This is what I wanted. So sometimes what I did this on purpose is just to show you that sometimes if you think that something is wrong and PRTG should show something, then just refresh your browser. It can be done, and that's it for this video. I believe that we haven't done much, actually not that much. We haven't done something difficult or not. It's only a 30-minute video, but actually this is what PRTG is about, and you can further go more by clicking on setup, and in setup you can set up your PRTG. You can do tons of stuff, starting from the user interface. Yes, it is. And you can change so many things, the management, the reachability, the credentials, the certificates, so many stuff you can change. You can keep playing with that. Make sure that you are not integrating this with the real network. Just integrate that, let's say, with an EVNG, and that's it. This is showing my total sensors right now. the current alarms and etc and stuff, and you can change every interval. By the way, if I went to the devices and go back to the ping, what says that, what, let's say, decides that these are green, why they are green, why they are okay, who says they are okay? Maybe something is wrong, maybe these interfaces that are not carrying traffic refers to a problem. So if I went to one of the interfaces, this one, and if I wanted to click on settings of this sensor, this specific sensor, then let me go below and let me see where are the credentials of that. I'm sorry, the thresholds. And the tag is it's a bandwidth threshold. Yes, I know it's a bandwidth threshold, but I want to check where is the threshold. A scanning interval, default. This one is default. Access right is default. The unit config, let me see, it's in kilobytes. You can change it to make it in mega, but I want to look. Last time I used it was a very simple. Let me see, it's showing the traffic in total, not the in and the out, everything. Graphic type, you can change it, but I was only wondering. Let me see. These are the settings of the channel settings. These are the sensors. It should be from the, I'm sure it should be from this one, but let me just see. This is a traffic in and traffic out. And this is a small channel settings that's showing me a lot of stuff like the limits. Limitation. Enable alerting on the limit, and let me talk about the error limit and the warning limit. The warning would show a green, an orange or an amber color sensor, and the error would show the red. What is this? This I can specify right now to make PRTG really helpful by showing me different colors based on the volume of the traffic. If traffic was too low, meaning that there is a problem. Why the traffic is too low? This customer or this region should always have an upload a volume or a download volume of 1 gigabyte. Below that, there is a problem. So the minimum, the lower error, let's say, is 1 giga. So in kilobits, that would be a million. Let me make it in that way. And if it was really below than that, make it a warning. Like if it was like below 700 meg, then it's a disaster. Something goes wrong and I need to, the PRTG should grab my attention and I need to check what's happening. The maximum, let's make it anything more than 5 gigabytes is too much. So that would be, let me make it 5 million, and if it ever exceeded 7, it's a disaster. So that would be okay. No, let me swap that. The error would be for the 5, the warning would be yes, I'm correct. No, I'm correct. I'm sorry, I've just messed up. Okay, apply. Bad request. Why is that bad request? If you are using multiple limits, must be descending according to the following. What have I done wrong? Let me see that. Yes, because the warning and the error. Let me see if I can swap that. If I click now, it's okay. Okay, no problem. Let me now refresh my browser and let me wait a little bit. Things are still green, but there are actually some zeros. So let's wait for a bit to refresh. Okay, things are red. There is a disaster. It says a 79 kilobits total is much below than the error limit of 100,000. So now it's red. Now if I went back, a back click, look, this interface is red right now. The sensor is red, so something is not right, something does not sound correct here, and we will need to behave, we will need to do something, and this is very important. Okay, so the others are good. We can modify the ping, like if everything was below, then let's say if it ever crossed 10 milliseconds in delay, then this is, let's say, a warning. And if it crossed 15, then this is an error. This is important. We can modify everything. We can modify the entire server. Everything is modifiable. You can do whatever you want, modifiable. And that's it. So let's begin with that. You can start right now monitoring your network using the PRTG. And I hope that this tutorial, let me go back. Okay, I hope that this tutorial was clear for you all. I hope that it was beneficial as well. And let me see your comments below. This tutorial was published, just like I said, in June 2021. And after that, we'll see the introduction to analysis. So thanks a lot for reaching so far, and hope to see you in the upcoming videos. Goodbye.